Look at that. We finally got the pad for the barn poured, 100% complete, finished. Now we need to give it a good couple of weeks to cure before we start building. But not to worry, we have plenty of other work that needs to get done. So we're gonna build a lean-to right here beside our shed. Now you may remember in a previous video, we cleaned off this old concrete pad. It's kind of a little bit of a driveway, but it's all cracked and unlevel. We ended up not building our shed here. We ended up pouring our own concrete foundation and putting our shed here, and this has worked out great. So now on this space back here, we are going to actually put in a nice big kind of pole barn type shed, no sides, just a roof, so we can store our homestead supplies. All right, so we're just gonna check our pad for level. Nice.
Oh, say, it's spot on.
All right, excellent. Moving on to the next pad.
Next pad.
Okay, that's good. Okay, we've got this side all leveled out. We'll continue putting gravel all the way around in this section, all the way down, and that will prevent rainwater from coming down and washing this out. Okay, that looks good.
Good.
All the way to the ground. I'm gonna zoom in. It's hard to see with the shadow. Okay, anchor bolt in.
Anchors away.
Anchors away. Look, it's tremors. Creepy. Maybe just leave it. It's stuck in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
All right, we'll pack it down.
Good enough.
Good enough. Good job, babes. That was
Brutal.
yes. So we're going to call that square.
Good.
Everything's connected. So this is the benefit of having two drivers, is one you can have for your drill bit and one you can have for your screw. And Mark is in love with his impact driver.
Yeah, it works pretty cool. All right.
Mark's using the speed square to get this squared up because we already learned that mistake. Things gotta line up and be square or they don't work. Right, Mark?
Who knew?
Who knew? And up. All right. Here. Okay. Gotta walk it out. Good. We're putting up our framing. Everything's sort of nailed in, and we're coming down here. And we need this to be
flush.
We need it to be flush. So a trick we learned from R&R buildings is you put a screw in this end, and then you take a hammer, pull it, and look at that. It's like makes the board stretch. He's holding it. He can drill it and screw it, and it'll stay in place. Awesome.
There it is.
Pretty happy. Everything's lined up fairly square. When we get it up tomorrow, we'll plumb and brace, and we'll start on the front wall. morning.
It's another day in Strong's little farmhouse.
That is true. And today, it's the down home, good old fashioned barn raising.
Even though it's a lean-to.
Yay! We did it!
What's up?
Now what? Right here.
I got it. I'm gonna do yours on mine too.
Ready?
Ready. I need to make it ready. There we go. And we're in.
Okay, that's on the mark. There's that.
Got it?
Yep. Look at that! We did it!
And we learned a nifty trick using the speed square. Middle of this 4x4 actually happens to be 1 3/4 inches, which it just so happens this first notch, that's where it lines up. So if you put it up against the edge of the board, put your pen in there, then you can draw a perfect line right down the center. Isn't that cool?
You're awesome!
Well, I'm not awesome. The people who figured this out are.
The inventor of the speed square was a genius.
Oh, I tell you.
Yes.
Okay. Your end needs to come
Out just a little bit towards me, right?
towards you. Stop. A tiny bit more. I mean tiny. Right there. Stop. Excellent. I love it when the plan comes together. Now don't touch anything.
This happens a lot. You get this bowed board or bent board or twisted board. So now Mark's going to have to use all of his muscle, push that down into place in order to get that to line up nice and flush. Now, I could help him with this, but I am busy doing my job of narration.
There we go. That cinched it. Down nicely.
Okay, and now look, nice and flat. All right.
Over time, it'll correct itself. It'll straighten up and not have that constant pressure on the wood.
It sort of relaxes into place.
Yeah.
It bends to our will.
To our will.
Perfect.
Wall number 2. Yes! Now what we have to do is put the crossboard across.
I'm pointing.
Never mind. I'll do it.
I'm doing it.
Stand there and look pretty.
I'm doing it just fine.
Okay, so what we have to do now is put the crossboard across the top. We came up with a quick little trick. We're going to put one screw in on this side just sticking out of the wood so the 2x4 can rest on that in roughly the right position while Mark screws in on this side. Poke, poke. I'm going to set that there. You kind of get into position where it's comfortable. Okay, and over here. For me, that goes right there. That looks good, right?
Perfect. Actually, I could use you to hold this.
I'm the lovely assistant. I'm the lovely assistant.
Okay. Don't go super sneaky.
I'm the lovely assistant. There we go. Okay, so we just put one screw in the board that we just came from so that it can pivot based on where this one has to go. So when this one's all lined up and tied in tight, then we'll go back and tighten up the last one.
You don't qualify as an assistant if you don't assist me.
Okay, so we're setting the rafter. Nailed a small board right where we want the rafter to set, and we're resting the rafter right on there because we're going to have to notch it so it sits on the cross beam just the right way. Now I have to go on this corner and figure out where that notch is going to be, mark it. We're going to trim it, put it back up, and then realign. Everything should work out. Let's hope. All right. Let's say we want it like that tall. That notch to this point right there. That's what we want.
Okay.
Watch out.
I'm coming through.
No, I'm coming through. You watch out for me.
You watch out.
I'm the one with the 12-foot board. You watch out for me. Okay, while I was on the ladder, this is the end of the post, and this is straight up and down. Now, it's not straight up and down level with this because this board is at an angle as a rafter. So that's the straight up and down right there. And then from there to this mark is the far end of the post. From there to there, that's our notch. Now, once this is cut out, we'll put it back up on the rafter and mark the other end, and we'll have our perfect angle we want. And then we'll use this as a pattern board for the other 3 rafters.
Okay.
Okay.
So now it goes back up.
Now we
and
put
we
it
draw
back
the
up.
rest.
Yeah. Don't knock over the camera, please.
I mean, like this, bam!
The board sits perfectly in that little notch. And now what Mark's doing over here is he is marking a plumb line straight up and down that cuts back a little bit so that the roofing will actually hang over the top. All right, so we've done the same thing here. This is the high end of the rafter now. We've marked this angle where it's going to sit on top of the post. Mark's going to cut this, and then everything's going to sit square. We'll use this as a pattern for the other couple of rafters. Beautiful! Okay.
All right.
I think we should test the position, but Mark just thinks is supremely confident, and so we're just going to mark these on the other boards, just willy-nilly, half-assing it.
We're not half-assing.
All right. The next 12-foot board rafter right here, and then we just set this one right on top. Line it up all kinds of beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to mark it.
I'll let you mark it.
This is our pattern board. So we want to use this one for all the rafters. All right. Here's the next 12-foot board. You got it?
Got it.
Then we mark this one. Same way. Alright, now we take the pattern board away, and Mark's gonna cut our notches and our end angles.
Two down.
Hey, 2 rafters down, 1 rafter to go. All right. Mark's just toenailing the rafters into place, and we'll be done. He gets a little starter hole, and then he angles down for the toenailing. He screws the nail in an angle, just in case you didn't know. That's called toenailing. Regardless if you're using a nail or a screw, it's still toenailing.
Solid as a rock.
Good job, babes.
Thank you.
You really know how to screw. Well, it's the end of the day, and we're pretty happy with what we got accomplished. We got the walls up, we got the framing in, we got the rafters on. So tomorrow we're going to start working on the purlins and the roofing, and we'll see where we get to tomorrow. Thanks for joining us at Strong's Little Farmhouse. I hope you like and subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye.